Hi everyone, I'm Stu.
I'm Sarah, and welcome back to the 350 Bird Challenge.
We're going on a bit of a road trip. We'll tell you a bit more about that in a second, and a goose that we've just stumbled across. Stay tuned, back after this.
Hi, welcome back.
We're currently at Cranberry Marsh, and we've stumbled across a Ross's goose. Really pleased to get that. It's a really attractive, nice white goose. Let's take a look. We got this awesome looking Ross's goose almost immediately after arriving at a bay overlooking Lake Ontario. Jason was joining us today and he saw it first. Really close in, excellent views, even without needing to use a scope. I love these geese. They're not too common here, so we only get a handful of opportunities to see them each year. They look very similar to a white morph snow goose, but this Ross's goose is smaller and it lacks the so-called grin patch found on a snow goose. So imagine the same goose with a slightly larger beak, and now imagine that it's wearing a generous amount of black lipstick, and you kind of get the idea of the difference with the snow goose. We admired the Ross's goose as it gently span around in the waves, surrounded by the usual hundreds and hundreds of Canada geese. I feel like this trumpeter swan deserves a bit of a mention because she's absolutely bonkers. Most trumpeters in Ontario are tagged. This is Z27, who was named Xena when she was tagged. I've run into her a few times and she's very sociable. She even followed me all the way to my car on one occasion, hoping for a snack, I expect. Although there are larger birds, this is the heaviest bird in North America. These swans almost went extinct, but reintroduction efforts have seen their numbers thrive, and they're now a pretty common sight at many of our most frequent birding spots around Lake Ontario and beyond. A few other common species back on land: a northern cardinal munching on berries in the early morning light, and a blue jay giving us a glimpse before ending the show early. And I guarantee better views of white-throated sparrows to come on this channel, but this'll do because it's a new bird. Okay guys, Cranberry Marsh worked out pretty good for us, but I think it's time for us to move on. Sarah, where are we heading to next?
We are heading to Whitby Shores or Lind Creek, depending exactly where we land, looking for the Barrow's Goldeneye.
Yeah, I know we've shown that a couple of times recently, but it's a bird that we need for the 350 challenge, so we'll make it a quick stop, see if we can get that one. Stay tuned, back in a sec. The sandhill cranes that we showed in the last 350 bird challenge video were still in the same field on the side of Halls Road, but a little bit closer this time and more active, so I'm including them here again. We arrived at Whitby Shores with Jason and made the short walk to the shoreline. I picked out the Barrow's Goldeneye quite quickly. It's been in a similar area for the last few days. Pretty good views again, but I'm aware that we have shown this bird a lot lately on the channel, so we won't linger on it for too long. It's a western Goldeneye species that's been hanging out, occasionally being a little bit assertive towards the common Goldeneye around it. Watch the last video with me and Jason for an identification comparison between the two species. Wham, bam, thank you, glam, Barrow's Goldeneye. Pretty fast stop, but we got what we came for. Sarah, what's our next stop? Our next definite stop, anyway.
Peterborough.
Yeah, we're looking for an interesting duck out there, if it's still hanging around. Stay tuned to find out. However, if we see any interesting stops on the way or any interesting bird reports, we'll go there first. Stay tuned, let's find out where we go next. Before we continue, let's pull up the map and check out what we've covered so far, and where we're going next. We began at Cranberry Marsh and bagged us that awesome Ross's goose. Whitby Shores is a bit of a drive to get around Lind Creek back to the lake again, but it's just next door as the crow flies. Next up, we're heading towards Peterborough, actually a little bit past Peterborough to a small village called Young's Point, and reports of a very rare duck. And so we hopped onto the 401, taking the exit for the 115 towards Peterborough, heading northeast for about an hour and a half. Okay guys, welcome to Peterborough. Where specifically are we, Sarah?
Just outside of Peterborough, actually, in Young's Point.
There's what is it?
The Odenabe River.
Odenabe River behind us. There's supposed to be a Common Eider down there. We're going to see if we can find it. Stay tuned. We need to just walk down to a better vantage point. A narrow stretch of sidewalk, but birders ahead of us, and that's often a good sign. We were greeted by about a 1,000 foot wide section of river, and we scanned for the bird, which was last seen hanging out on some ice. There was an initial false alarm when attention was called to the waterfowl over here, but to be fair, not everyone had good scoping equipment to cover the distances required. This culprit was eventually discounted as a female mallard. I scanned the water again when this drab, distant, blurry bird caught my eye, but it dove pretty quickly. Fine-tuning my settings a little, I got slightly better video here. Common Eider, lifer. This bird has been photographed closer in, and a number of experienced birders have suggested that this is an extremely rare Somateria mollissima borealis subspecies, the northern common eider, normally found in the Arctic, where it feeds in areas of open seawater surrounded by frozen ice. This is perhaps my best footage from the day. The borealis identification comes from the shape of the bill lobes. They're not visible in this footage, but the lobes are more pointed on the borealis subspecies compared to the other possible subspecies, the sedentaria or Hudson Bay subspecies. This bird is quite drab in colour because it's a young male in formative plumage, rather than the black and white colouring of a more mature male. Still, this is an extraordinarily rare bird to see. Really awesome. Okay guys, we got the Common Eider a little bit further out. It's a little bit kind of murky looking, but we got it, it counts. That's kind of, if you include the Ross's goose, 3 for 3. Pretty good, right Sarah?
Yeah, and it was really nice to see this Common Eider because there's been a lot of discourse over subspecies. Apparently this is an Arctic subspecies, so very, very rare.
Cool. We're going to move on to either Algonquin or maybe we'll find somewhere before then. Stay tuned, we're going to hit the road again. Back on the road we decided to try to get looks further downstream along the Odenabe River. We looked out for any more waterfowl, and we saw some common goldeneyes and maybe some other species, but there wasn't really anywhere to pull over with the snow accumulation on the side of the road. So instead, we grabbed something to eat and pushed on further north. No further sightings really appeared for us, and we arrived at Algonquin Park a couple of hours later. A welcome party of one new bird for the year, common raven. Maybe it was checking to see if we had a provincial parks pass. Well, we didn't, so we went to buy one for future provincial park birding videos coming soon on this channel for 2025. Okay everyone, we didn't really find any more stops on our way up to Algonquin Park, and that's where we find ourselves now. Hate to tease you, but we want to put the Algonquin Park video out as a separate video, so that does us for this one. But stay tuned to the channel because Algonquin Park will be coming soon. Thanks for watching this video everyone. Please give us a like, that will help other people find the channel, and we really appreciate your comments too. Anything else you think of that people should be doing, Sarah?
If you haven't already, if you could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. After subscribing, if you hit the bell icon, you will get a notification when new videos are posted.
Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy birding.